Hey, Dad.
There you go.
Good. So, Dad, what has it been like to play and coach cricket your whole life?
It's been a lot of fun. It's a very enjoyable sport, as you know. The only thing I don't like is I get to miss you too much and all my other three kids. I'm always away from home. But to play, it's been a very enjoyable experience for me. And now, dare I say it, I love coaching more, to be perfectly honest. You get to be involved with the whole squad and encourage them to play a certain way. And it's been a really enjoyable journey for me as a coach, as you well know, and coming around to these rooms and the history of Lords, but just coaching the team in general and having influence on how they play and enjoy the game, because after all, it is a game and it's there to be enjoyed, and hopefully we're entertaining people all around the world with the way we play.
Okay, so what do you love the most about the Ashes series?
Good question. I would think it'd be the history and the tradition of the Ashes, whether you're in Australia or England, and obviously it's every 2 years and every 4 years abroad. For us, it's a big thing coming to Lords. It's the home of cricket. We get the chance to meet normally the Queen. I think it's the Prince this time. But for us, it's a really important test match. But the Ashes itself, history is huge. It's the biggest test series you can play in as a player or be involved in as a coach. So for us, it's a very important 2 months here on tour, and we've got to play well and try and retain the Ashes, and hopefully that we go a long way to doing that here at Lords, but also throughout the tour. The different crowds are really loud here, as you well know, and they get stuck into you, and that's fine. That's part of Ashes cricket. But it's the same when we're in Australia. The crowds are fantastic for us. So the history is probably the biggest thing.
So, Dad, what do the players bring on game day?
Obviously, we've got to bring their whites to play, their training gear for warm-up, etc. And then they bring all their gear, spikes, bats, gloves, pads, anything, helmets, you name it, protective equipment, and a whole heap of little things that they like to take with them.
So whose bag is this?
Well, this bag's our captain's, Michael Clark. So he likes to pack a lot of things with him. He actually packs about 20 pairs of gloves. You can see his sweaters there, his shoes. He's the neatest guy we have on tour. He has his backpacks with his music, etc. in there. Has about probably 8 or 10 bats, as you see, set up. His whites, and then obviously his baggy green, which is, this one is probably 30 test matches old. He swapped it when he got the test match captaincy. He had his other one for 80 test matches, and it was all frayed, a bit like Steve Waugh used to change his. But now you have to sign a stacked deck to actually get a new baggy green, so to say you've lost it or you need a new one. So that's all his gear, and as you can see, he's pretty well folded, and 389 is his test playing number. He has a little bag for his baggy green to keep really secure, and he's one of our neatest players around the place. And then as you can see, he's one of our last players, or he is our last player to make 100 here at Lords, and this is the board where everyone wants to get on. So there's a lot of great players in the past, and you see guys like Mark Waugh from Australia, Matthew Elliott's one of our last. So we haven't had a lot of hundreds here. We need a few more in this test match, mate. And Don Bradman's first innings here was at Lords in 1930. He made 254 in his first knock. So that's the bags, and that's a bit of history there. And then obviously we can go over to a bowler's bag if you like, and let's have a look at that. Whose bag do you reckon this is?
Mitchell Johnson's.
Yeah, why is that?
Because it has lots of spikes.
Lots of spikes, and he's messy. He's a fast bowler. Okay, so the Quicks have sort of two bags. As you can see, there's probably 20 pairs of shoes in there, and there's spikes and rubbers and everything you can imagine to train. The bowlers here in England have to have long spikes and short spikes because the wickets sometimes are slippery, so that's why they change. And then he's got all his batting gear, and he is one of the messiest guys we've got going around, to be perfectly honest. But he's one of the favourites with all you guys, and we love him bowling fast and getting wickets for Australia. But he keeps his gear very messy. By the end of the test match, it's all over the place. And same as Steve Smith, he's really messy. The rest of them aren't too bad, but he has to have a lot of gear, Mitchell, because he's obviously a very important player for us with the ball, but also he has to bat, and he bats at 8, and that's an important position for us.